All right, hello everybody. Long time no talk. Once again, it's a Groundhog's Week, a little bit different this time though. It's Wednesday, 23rd of January, and it is a minute or two away from 6 p.m. It's absolutely amazing how much longer the days are already getting. But anyway, I got home about 3 hours ago. Drove through some of the crappiest weather, all-time top 25 crappiest weather I've ever driven through, and that's saying something. That's bad. I got a lot of miles on. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it, but it took quite a long time to get home. It was pretty nasty, but got home safe and sound. I guess that's what matters. A lot of other people weren't as fortunate. There's a lot of cars in the ditch. Obviously, I drove through the entire, we're going to call it eastern part of Wisconsin, and they got nailed pretty heavy with a good storm, which of course when I started off in Chicago, it was storming real bad there. Traffic getting out of the city was just unbearable. But I got home a few hours ago, and chores are already done, and in the meantime immediately started stockpiling basically our what I like to call our little stockpile yard here. I don't know if you can call it a yard, but that's what we do. Was all but depleted. So everything's been stockpiled back up. This will hold for easily 1 week or better, a little better than a week. You've got your hay, your dry hay round bales, you got your sorghum, and you got your alfalfa baleage, which is strictly reserved for the heifer lot. Sorghum's going real good. They're eating that up real good. This is that second crop. I had this set out to sell last week, but anyway, I took it and brought it here. Cows enjoy it. Got some good hay. I'm pretty excited to see what tomorrow morning brings, and we're going to talk about hay here. I ended up tapping into, there's two lines at the bale yard. It's what I'm going to call caramelized, second crop, very nice grassy hay. It's going to be like cotton candy to the cows. I'm pretty excited to feed it out tomorrow. We'll see how they do. I was going to save it for springtime, but I really didn't have a reason why. I just, whatever. All right, what does caramelized hay mean? Ben, what in the hell are you talking about? A lot of people will know. Some of you that don't, and it's okay that you don't. If you bale hay just a little higher on the moisture content, dry hay on the higher moisture content, and I don't know what the science is behind it, that hay will basically cook a little bit inside and caramelize. I know a lot of people that do it deliberately. This is not a farm that deliberately makes caramelized hay. We just don't. We don't have the science behind it, and that's tricky business. But I remember when I made this stuff, we had one hell of a clear report for like 4 days. And anybody that bales up that really thick, beautiful second crop grass understands it takes quite a while for that stuff to dry out. Well, the weather pattern changed. The reason that it was baled a little higher moisture is because I was beating the storm that night. It needed the whole rest of that day to dry out. I couldn't do it. I think we're looking at some good stuff. I am going to find out tomorrow. But the cows ought to get a pretty good kick out of it. Oh, yeah. Yep. You can also tell if it kind of smells like... I'm going to pretend I know what I'm talking about here. If it smells like tobacco. In fact, if I'm out of some chew, I'll just throw a dip of that stuff in. But, yeah, okay. A couple things to talk about here. And then we're going to go look at the new home for the beef cows. We're preparing for a awful, awful time ahead. It starts tomorrow. Tomorrow's not too bad though. We're only looking at -6. Folks, we're slated for -17 on Friday. Basically, it's safe to say all hell is coming. And those are temperatures without the wind factor. If there even is going to be one, I don't know. We're going to find out though. So anyway, I wanted to get all the stockpiling done this evening, so it's one less thing that I'm jacking around with here in the next, days to come. And this cold spell we have, the sub-zero cold spell, is going to last through all of next week. We have all below zero temperatures. Some days just being single-digit below temperatures. Friday this week here coming up in a day and a half, 17 below. And then I'm already seeing Wednesday of next week, they're slating for 16 below zero. So it's going to be pretty cantankerous around here. Whatever, you deal with it every year. You find yourself not fully prepared. I do have to do a little bit of work tomorrow in the barn with some more heat tape. And we're going to do a video on that, how I'm paying the price now for being a little bit cheap when it really counted. And I'll go ahead and tell on myself a little later. It'll be a little lesson to learn by, which I seem to be pretty good at that, don't I? So yeah, awful, awful weather coming. Okay. Corn silage was stopped. Was it Friday? Saturday. Saturday last week, corn silage was fed for the last time this winter. It'll be opened back up. What the hell am I hearing? In the spring. What does that mean? We're now on full-time hay feeding to the cows, which means we're feeding a total of 3 dry bales a day. 2 dries in the morning with a bale of sorghum, and in the afternoons, early evening, which was just done an hour ago, 1 more dry thrown out there. Well, here's the deal. I'm going to make a fool out of myself. I'm not altogether feeling very confident of our stockpile of hay that we have. The reason I say making a fool out of myself, you guys have been watching me for weeks sell hay, baleage. I don't know, I guess it's just because reality hit. All this hay is being fed now. I can tell you what I'm going to do tomorrow, if not tonight yet, is I'm going to go take my numbers down again. I'm going to go count everything. I'm going to precisely figure out our dry hay needs for the remainder of this winter and spring before grazing. Last famous words are, you add on an extra 10%. Try to anyway. And I'm going to see what I have. The reason being is I still have 40 bales of sorghum left to sell that big beef operation, which was a negotiated deal with no monies handed over. It was just a common man's agreement, word of mouth, so to speak. Well, I tell you what, I don't operate like this, folks, but running numbers again here for bale counts and everything, if I get nervous, I'm here to tell you I'm going to have to cheapen up that bale sale to that big beef operator. I don't like doing things like that, but these cows come first. So anybody that wants to argue that, I really don't know what to tell you. So I think it's just the reality of feeding all this dry hay again. Because we were only feeding like 4 bales a week to this whole herd. Of course, they had corn silage and sorghum every day. This is their new home, and it always is their home for the dead of winter. There's 3 bale rings in here. I already recited what our feeding pattern is for bales. I do not see it going up any from there. This is a bale of dry hay, obviously, from this morning. Of course, there's quite a bit of waste because they like to push that over. This is a bale that's sorghum, and I'm seeing a lot of waste here. I don't really like that, but let's see how they do. They got all night yet. And this was the just fed bale of dry hay. And these girls will be more than fine until tomorrow morning. I'll be feeding them bales again about 6:30. Oh crap, that frees up. They like it here because it's pretty well protected from the west. The west is our biggest problem. Obviously you got the shelter there. I threw a bale of barley straw, round bale of barley straw in there this evening just to fill in some of the holes, give them a little serenity in there. Tomorrow, I do believe I will be setting on a bale of straw in this corner as well. Give them a little extra comfort because Friday's gonna be hell on these girls. Well, this whole week coming up. So this is their new home for the winter, right here. They obviously have their water tank inside the shelter and their mineral tub right there. So, yeah. I think it was last week I said something about a 3-year-old heifer. I know. She's getting closer. Dad is 1,000 times better judge than I am. I'll admit that every day and twice on Sunday. And he believes she is 10 days to 20 days away from calving. So we might do an update on this, on that heifer in some time to come. See what she looks like. And you will be seeing very shortly us penning her up. And a newborn calf, which we don't care for this time of year, but whatever. Hey, big lug. So that's about it, folks. Really nothing else new besides that. Just shuffling bales around, getting prepared for hell coming, because that's exactly what it's going to be. A lot of little things to tie up tomorrow in preparation for Friday and the rest of a full week to come of very nasty, nasty weather. And yeah, that's about it. There's not exactly going to be any playtime for the next 7-8 days. I can promise you that right now. But all's well. We got a small little hiccup on that TMR. The exact size and model that I was requesting, respectfully, cannot be had. There's those models are available, but they are a long, long ways away from here. So we're looking at a couple of different options. Long story short, I really hate to tell you this, but I'm going to have to add on an extra week of waiting time for that TMR to get here. But I tell you what, folks, we're not in a huge rush. And just wanted to share that little tidbit with you. I ended up picking up one of those automatic timers for the tractor, for the block heater the other day. I'm going to go set that here this evening. And yeah. Other than that, that's it. That's all I have. Stopping in, saying hello. Hope everybody's doing okay. 15-minute video, geez. And I got a few more things to tie up here before evening really falls, which is basically pretty quick here. But yeah, stay tuned for some videos coming up. The old attitude might not be the greatest, but we'll see if we can fake it a little bit. But everybody have a nice night. We'll talk to you sooner than later.